Bow, chicka wow wow. What's up, party people? Thanks for tuning in and joining today. And thank you for coming and listening and taking the time to elevate your life. I am your hostess with the mostess, L as in the letter L, and key as in the key to your heart. So let's get into it on this Mindful Monday, January 6th. First of all, Happy New Year. I realized when I did my last episode that it was literally New Year's Day Eve. Basically, it was like, I don't know, January 30th, I think. And I was like, hey, I didn't even talk about New Year's Eve, New Year's resolutions. So definitely want to touch on that and find out how was your New Year's Eve? And did you set any goals for yourself? Any New Year's Eve resolutions? New Year's resolutions for 2025? It's going to take me a while to get used to that whole 2025. So let's get into it. Lots of questions, lots of things to talk about, share. As for me, sadly, my 2-week winter break, Christmas, New Year's Eve vacation is not what I hoped for. What I was looking for, I don't even like to say expecting because it's not a good idea to have expectations because then you might be disappointed in those, right? Well, needless to say, that is the case. So after the many times I have been airing my podcast and talking about my illnesses and how long they took for me to heal from and overcome, despite all of the homeopathic remedies. Shout out to Barry Miner, who I can always count on to tell me, oh, honey is a great probiotic antibiotic, or pineapple is great for getting rid of germs, viruses, etc. So on that note, thank you very much, Barry Miner. Hope you had a great New Year's Eve and a great birthday. Happy birthday to you. Sorry that we haven't had a chance to connect, visit, celebrate anything in ages. So on that note, Mr. has had the terrible virus that's been going around with the lingering cough. And if you don't know, now you know. I'm about to school you. Basically, my entire family had a version of this. My son didn't have the virus with the lingering cough, but ear infection, which he's prone to. So he sadly could not join us for our holiday gathering on December 28th. And Mr. had this lingering cough and illness for 3 weeks. Bear with me while I take a swig of water. The first couple weeks, it was right when I was going to go to Mexico, which was December 11th, and then thought he was over it, which is what happens. You think you're over it, and then it comes back and bites you in the ass a second time. And then after 2 weeks, I tried helping him get into the doctors, message the doctors, basically asking for a miracle because all of the things that we were doing were not helping. And we're talking all of the homeopathic remedies, Vicks, on the bottom of the feet, on the chest, herbal tea, honey, lemon, hot toddies, oh my gosh, heating pad, you name it, we tried it. So here we are 3 weeks in. We barely made it to our candlelight vigil service, as you all know, and never got a chance to go see all the Christmas lights like Deacon Dave's or any of the neighborhoods that I wanted to go to, because every time we attempted to go out and do something, he would get chills and start coughing again, and so we had to come home. So barely made it out for New Year's Eve, and that set him back. And so, yeah, wasn't the greatest holiday vacation or holiday things for us. No karaoke, no dancing. So wah wah wah. Yeah, it was great to have the time off and be able to sleep in. That was about the extent of it. In other news, has anybody been watching all of the news briefs talking about the drones that are flying all over the US and New Jersey? And does anybody have any thoughts on the drones and what they're doing? There are various opinions that are out there and YouTube videos that are out there talking about it's military drones, that they are out looking for possibly missiles, possibly. There's so much speculation around there, and that's why I want to kind of talk about it and touch on it. So, some people are saying, they don't normally use drones at night unless they're looking for an airline that may have crashed, or you just normally don't see them out in the night skies. And so there are a lot of opinions and speculation about aliens, about the military is definitely out there looking for things, but not necessarily disclosing to us what it is they're looking for. So, this is the time for you guys to write in on the fan mail and please share with me. What do you think is happening? What do you think is going on? Why do you think there's so many drones out there? I would love to hear your thoughts and opinions. And as always, I include my RSS feed for you to chime in. And I know if you're driving or whatever, you don't have the opportunity to write down. So I've been including the links in my podcast, but I'll read it off once again. HTTPS semicolon // feeds with an S .buzzsprout.com /2323357.rss. And of course, for those of you that are driving or listening and don't have the ability to stop and write it down, I'll include the link so that you can send in a fan mail. You can send in a text message. If you're listening on YouTube, there's an opportunity. There's the little message box where you could send in a message and send me your thoughts, ideas, opinions, speculations, whatever. And through the other platforms, it usually says text a message or email a message, whether it's on Spotify, Apple Podcast, Amazon Music, the various different platforms you can find me on. And of course, Buzzsprout, the one I record on. So, as far as I go, as far as my New Year's thought resolutions, I'm kind of carrying this on from my birthday wish, which is to be intentional with my words, with my actions, with the people I spend time with. I'm going to be very intentional and expect the same in return. And that can include family. Guys, we can pick and choose who we want to spend our time with, if it is family or friends. And if they are not respecting our words, our thoughts, our feelings, our opinions, if they're not returning a phone call, a text, an email, a voice memo, a message, and you've given them ample opportunities, you don't have to choose to continue having this person in your life. I just, I'm, I feel very strongly about this, that we teach people how to treat us. And I am finding that there are definitely some people that have been in my circle where I'm the one that makes the effort to call or text or email or voice memo, whatever the case may be. And maybe I'm not getting a response after the first, second, third try. Like, at what point do I say, okay, you know what? Clearly, I am not a priority in your life because you are not reciprocating the efforts that I am putting out there. So, at what point do you say, okay, enough's enough? I'm going to back off and allow you the opportunity to call me, text me, email, WhatsApp, Instagram, whatever, however you communicate. I just feel it's really important that we know that we can protect our peace and we can choose the people that we want in our circle based on, if I'm putting forth the effort, I would like to see an effort put back. And if not, okay, I guess, I mean, I have no other way to draw a conclusion that um, I'm not a priority. And I know a lot of you will say, well, I'm busy with work, with my cats, with my kids, with my dogs, with my baby, with my hobbies, with my interests, with my side hustle, whatever the case may be. Look, I know that we all can have busy lives, and all of those things can be true. I also know that most of us live on our phones, right? Our phone is usually connected to our hand almost at all times, or our hip, or our pocket. A lot of us take it to the bathroom with us while we're sitting on the couch watching a movie, whatever the case may be. My point is, if the president and everyone else out there can tweet and find the time, I think that you can find the time to return a phone call, return a text, respond to a message, etc. Okay, I think that's the end of my rant. I am curious to know what everyone set as a New Year's goal. Is it getting fit, losing weight, gaining weight? What I just shared, being more intentional with thoughts, feelings, friends, family, um, is it setting boundaries? Again, would love to hear your thoughts and opinions. Which brings me to my next segment of shout outs to my people. What? Lisa Roberts Curbelo. Thank you for being a consistent and constant supporter of my podcast. Really appreciate you. Thank you to Mike Kaufman. Thank you to Jeff Pata. I'm working on my craft so that I can have you guys as a guest, so I can get another microphone, so I can get a camera, so we can have a dialogue and my podcast can go viral. Unfortunately, currently, I am still recording in the comforts of my home, my bedroom. So if you hear the background noise of the cars, the cars that go by on the busy street, or the dog bark, or whatever the case may be, I do edit all of the sounds out. Sometimes the editing software I use is not fully effective. I am still mastering that, so I appreciate your patience. I do want to send a shout out to Zacky's Sweet Treats. Thank you so much. I not only had them for myself, shared with family, shared with friends, but am continuing to spread the word. This is a lovely 21-year-old boy with autism who is learning life skills through his mother. And Nicole Sedano, shout out to you, who's learning how to bake and starting a business so that he can make money through his cookies. And they're very delicious, and I will include that in the link as well. Okay, well, everyone's trying to text me now, so I'm going to get off here so that it doesn't continue to interfere with the podcast. Shout out to Bontro Bling Hats. If you haven't looked at it, you can find her through Facebook. I'll include the link for those as well. It is a fancy flair to the Western hats. The multi-talented Bonnie Bates created these, and Jacques Dutroux, so Bontro Bling Hats. Shout out to Zacky's Sweet Treats. Fabulous. I highly recommend them. Reasonably priced, baked with love. And yeah, I think that's it for now. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for listening. Thank you to all my loyal listeners. Shout out to Travis Lemire, Parker, Carly Muser, Rain Burleson. Oh, and the many others. Kara Kitchell, Tom Guzik. I'm sure I've probably forgotten somebody. Nancy Nottage. I would be here all day if I shouted out to everyone. So thank you for tuning in. Thank you for listening. Please continue to listen, like, share on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, Elevate Your Life podcast. Still looking for sponsors and sponsorships. And ladies and gents, you can still subscribe to me. I'll give you a shout out. I can have you on the show. There can be personalized segments tailored around you, all for the low price of a cup of coffee. Minimum of 3, maximum of $10 a month. Thank you so much for tuning in and listening. Ciao for now.